Oh, hello everyone. Welcome on board the SketchCan Caravan, where you can learn to draw Goldilocks and the Three Bears, Part 7, The Bears' Beds. Here's the story so far. Once upon a time there were 3 bears. They lived in a cottage on the edge of a forest. It was morning, and Daddy Bear had made some steaming hot porridge for breakfast. While they waited for it to cool down enough to eat, they went out into the woods to look for nuts and berries to put on top. Meanwhile, not far from the bear's cottage, a little girl named Goldilocks was on her way to school. She had woken up so early she hadn't had time for breakfast. As she got near the cottage, the smell of porridge wafted through the trees. It smelt so delicious she forgot all about school and followed the smell all the way up to the front door. When she went inside to take a look, she found a big bowl of porridge, a medium-sized bowl of porridge, and a small bowl of porridge. I'm sure nobody would mind if I had a little taste, Goldilocks thought to herself. So she tasted the big bowl, but yuck, it was too salty. She tasted the medium-sized bowl, but ugh, it was way too sweet. Then she tasted the smallest bowl of porridge. It was just right, so she ate it all up. Goldilocks was feeling quite full, so she went into the living room to find somewhere to have a little rest. She saw 3 chairs. I'll try this big one first, she thought. But when she sat on Daddy Bear's chair, it was much too hard and much too high. So she went to try the medium-sized chair. But this one was way too soft and way too squishy. So she went to try the smallest chair in the room, and this one felt just right, until, crack! It broke, and Goldilocks fell on the floor. Oh dear, what am I going to do now? Thought Goldilocks. I know, I'll go and see if there are any beds where I can have a little lie down. So off she went to the bedroom. There she found 3 beds. A big bed, a middle-sized bed, and a tiny little bed. Let's draw the bears' beds. And we'll start with the biggest one, Daddy Bear's bed. It's very high and very hard, and we're going to use rectangles for this. On the left-hand side of the page, we're going to draw a tall standing up rectangle. The top half is the headboard, and the bottom half is the leg, which touches the floor about 3/4 of the way down your page. So draw across the top, straight down the side, across the bottom, and back up to the top. We're going to draw the mattress next, so find the point halfway down your standing up rectangle and draw a straight line across the top of the mattress, stopping in the middle of your page. And then just below that one, draw another one for the bottom of the mattress. Make them both the same length. Then you can draw a standing up rectangle for the foot of the bed. Try to make sure this leg ends at the same place on the floor as the other one. Draw down the side, along the bottom, straight back up and close. The last thing we need to give Daddy Bear's bed is a pillow. We're going to use a short lying down rectangle for this. So starting a little way above the mattress, against the headboard, draw straight out and down to the top of the mattress. It looks like Mummy Bear made a good job of making the beds this morning. The sheets are all tucked in very tight. It looks very neat and tidy. But it doesn't look very comfortable, this bed, does it? Mummy's bed looks a bit more soft and squishy. Can you see how the shapes are much rounder? Her bed doesn't have legs, it has feet. So let's start by drawing 2 circles. One that's quite close to the end of Daddy's bed, and another one at the same level on the floor on the right-hand side of your page. And then you can join those 2 feet up together with one long straight line. And then we can turn that into a lying down rectangle that has a saggy bit in the middle. So we're going to draw straight up the end. And we don't want to make it as tall as Daddy's bed, it's a much lower bed. And then we're going to start to come across the top and then draw down and up. Mummy Bear's headboard is soft and squishy, so let's use an arch shape for this. like a tall rainbow. So starting on the back of the bed, draw up and over the rainbow. And then you can add a semicircle for a nice soft squishy pillow. Find the place just a little way down from the top of the headboard and draw out and curve around until you meet the top of the mattress. Now that does look very comfy, doesn't it? But what about Baby Bear's little tiny bed? It looks a bit softer than Daddy's and a bit harder than Mummy's, and it's much smaller than both of them. So let's start on the right hand side of the page, just below Mummy's bed. We're going to draw a thin standing up rectangle for the headboard and leg. We're going to draw 2 horizontal lines for the mattress and a shorter standing up rectangle for the foot of the bed and a nice curvy pillow. Before you decide where to draw Goldilocks into this picture, let's get back to the story and see what she does when she goes into the bedroom. Goldilocks saw 3 beds, 1 big bed, 1 middle-sized bed, and 1 tiny little bed. She decided to try the biggest bed first, but it was much too high and much too hard. So she jumped down and went to try the middle-sized bed. But this one was much too soft and squishy. She could never sleep in here. Then she looked at the tiny little bed. It was a little bit too small, but ever so comfy. She cuddled up and went to sleep. I wonder what will happen in part 8, the last chapter of this story. You'll have to watch to find out.